quick brown fox visited hardwareasylum.com. It's not very dark. Welcome to Hardware Asylum. If you've been following the channel, you may have noticed that it's been a while since I posted a video. So I thought maybe it would be fun to go through the fleet and see where the certain projects are in their process and check in on some of the old projects. So on the left here we have the classic case build. This is the 38640 megahertz system that I put together. Right next to it is the Primo build. This is a Pentium 2 running Windows XP and Windows 98 in a dual boot configuration. We have a SATA to IDE adapter in there running a 10,000 RPM Raptor drive. So I was reading through the comments, and one of the questions that I got was the status of the classic case build and whether or not the Retro Bright has held up. It's been about 3 years since I put this machine together, and I'm going to say that some of the yellowing has come back, but it's not as bad as it was when it first came into the Hardware Asylum lab. If you happen to watch the build series for the Primo chassis, you will remember that I did not need to do a Retro Bright on this machine. Now when you compare the two chassis side by side, you can see that the color is about the same, especially under the studio lights here in the lab. The camera tends to change the white balance a little bit, so it does look a little bit brighter than it really is. Now I'm going to go ahead and move these aside and we can talk about some of the other projects that were currently in flight or are brand new to the channel. The first will be a new build. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this one just quite yet, but I wanted to rebuild the classic case build. And so I found another chassis that had a very similar style. Now for the classic case build, the slats move horizontally across the front of the bezel. That was a feature that I really liked about that case. And with this new chassis, we have a very similar design, but the manufacturer took a few liberties. So the dashboard is a different color. The slats that move horizontally are interrupted with a diagonal piece that was embossed into the plastic. It still does have the front mounted keyboard connector option, and it is a mini tower, and that happens to be one of the themes for my retro PC builds that we're doing here on Hardware Asylum. Turning the case around, you'll see that the chassis has the zinc or nickel plated metal to prevent rust. That's one of the chassis designs that I happen to really like. We have the Primo and the classic case build that have the same chassis, and it polishes up really nice. This case does have a bit of shipping damage and some scuffs that will need to be polished out, but overall the case seems to be in pretty good shape. We'll go ahead and tear this apart in a future video and get the front bezel fixed. The seller was nice enough to include all the plastic pieces so we can glue those back together. One of the projects that I'm really excited about is the Pentium Pro build. That's going to go in the new old stock case that we refurbished. That case has been put away in the box and I don't want to get it out just for this particular video, but I'm going to show you some of the new components that we got for that build. The most important is a CPU cooler. This is, again, a new old stock, which is kind of going with the theme of that build. We have a fan. It's really quite tall, which is good. During my testing of that motherboard, I discovered that getting storage to work with it is going to be really difficult. So I reached back on some of my memories of using a Pentium Pro, and most of those systems had a SCSI hard drive. So we got a new old stock ribbon cable. That's going to be paired with a Maxtor Atlas 15K 236 gigabyte drive. This drive is really super quiet for a SCSI drive, but it runs really hot. So we have a new old stock HD cooler that's going to go underneath. I used to use these in my gaming builds back in the day, and they work quite well until these fans get full of dirt. All of that will be controlled by my Adaptic SCSI controller card with the appropriate fast connector. The final item that I wanted to discuss, and maybe we'll test out toward the end of this video, is a new printer that I picked up, which is a Panasonic KX-P1091i. This printer is very, very similar to the 1080i that I restored in a previous video. However, this one, and it has an additional print setting that's not available on the 1080i. But the nice thing about this one is that it came in the box. I've already opened it up and it is extremely clean, which kind of tells me that it was either a demo unit in a store somewhere, or somebody bought it, used it for a little bit, and then put it back in the box and then kind of forgot about it. Now, unlike the printer that I restored, this one was not just stored in a crate in a storage unit for many, many years. It appears to have stayed in the box, so it did not get any sun damage. It is not yellow at all. Extremely clean, and all of the common problems are evident. For instance, the plastic cover here is missing some tabs. Those tend to break off. I found them in the box. Let's go ahead and get the printer apart. We'll take a look at some other stuff. Pull this out that way. Now, this orange piece of plastic here, that keeps the print head from moving around. This is for when you want to put the printer in a box and ship it somewhere. We also have another one of these connectors that goes here to also support the paper as it's running through the tractor feeds. So I'm going to go ahead and get this printer cleaned up off camera. We'll come back and get it hooked into the classic case build so we can do a print test. And on the 1091i, we have the standard program, we have courier, we have bold, postscript, I'm assuming, and then comp. Now if we go over to the 1080i, we have the standard program, we have near letter quality, and we have comp. So immediately you can see that the naming scheme is different. We also have an additional print setting on the newer printer. And the only way to know the real difference is to try them out. Okay, let's do our first print. The quick brown fox visited hardwareasylum.com. It's not very dark. Let's see if we can fix that. Ink cartridge. And by the looks of it, it has been used, despite the fact that the printer is extremely clean. Now over here, I was able to find some cartridges for this printer. Brand new, completely sealed. They look exactly the same. And hopefully they will work. Here's our old cartridge, here's our new one. Alright, here's the 1080i, and since I have a bunch of cartridges, go ahead and replace this one too. NLQ. And comp, which we know is compressed. Okay, here's our side-by-side. Standard quality, near letter quality, the Courier. Those two seem to be the same. And then our new mode, which is the bold postscript, and then compressed versus compressed. Another print comparison. On the left is the 1080i, on the right is the 1091. Near letter quality and the Courier mode. Those look virtually identical. Now with the bold postscript, we see a lot of differences. So obviously this one is going to be a little bit darker because it's printed in bold. And if we go and get a really close up here, you can see a lot of the overlap that makes it dark. But if you look in the flames, let's see, where's my pointer? So if you look in the flame section, the characters change. So it's spaced over, plus, over that way, equal, 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 plus, star, dash, plus, or actually it's dash, star, dot, star. So that is not a very consistent line, whereas this one is not either. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.